Rodger, I know that you're really excited about work you've been doing recently and that you're continuing to do on the questions of resilience and imagination. And I know we read a lot about resilience because we know psychotherapists and professors of psychology have been doing a lot of generative work there. But I know you're on it because for you and for us it's a theological question. Talk more about that.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's no question that we're grateful for the field of psychology and psychotherapy and all of the research that has happened around resilience and resilience studies. So resilience at its essence, starting with a fundamental question, how is it that a child, for instance, who has endured just unimaginable abuse, how is it that a child who has grown up in a horrible, horrible setting somehow is able to emerge into young adulthood as thoughtful and caring, with the ability to form healthy relationships? How is that even possible? And so that's sort of the question about resilience. Is there something inherently resilient in this child versus others who, justifiably so, growing up in a terrible, terrible situation, are not able to be functioning adults for the rest of their lives? Well, I appreciate all the work that's been done by our colleagues in the fields of psychotherapy and psychology, but it seems to me that there's a particular angle that's important for our work as theologians, that it isn't just a question of nature and nurture left unto its own, that there's something about faith and faithfulness and the community of faith that enables persons to survive and to move even beyond these tragic situations. Resilience by its very nature is this idea, what they call persistence of form, that no matter what is coming at you, the different forces and challenges, tragedies, the ability to stay with the persistence of form, what it is you're supposed to be doing. We talked about this earlier, you and I, that whole persistence of form. We theologians, we talk about that as a discernment question. What is the form for which you have been shaped? What is the form for which you have been purposed in the world? God made you and created you, redeemed you and sustains you even now for a purpose, for a reason. What is that? And what happens in your life when you digress from that form of faithfulness? And what happens when you find yourself settled, nestled, nurtured in it? Well, that's what we're exploring, I think, as theologians in the issue of resilience, is how do we care for and nurture and grow resilience in our children, our young people, our young adults, even our older adults, middle-aged adults, so that we know and we continue on in this pattern of that for which we've been created. It seems to me that that really is a crucial question. And it does start with this task of discernment. For what was I created? For whom was I created? And certainly we theologians talk about you were created to give honor and glory to God. And when you do that, then you feel this amazing sense of purpose in your life. Ah, this is what I was born for. This is why I exist on this planet. You've talked about your adventures and mission trips. And part of what happens, I think, in mission trips that adds to this idea of resilience is that young people come away having made a difference in some way. They feel like, not only did I have a great time being with other young people and adults who are now very meaningful to me, but I actually was purposive. I actually did something that made a difference in the world. I remember years ago, I was with a group of young people and we spent a little over a week and a half on a Choctaw Native American reservation in Oklahoma. And we did vacation Bible school for a week and a half, and we helped to rebuild and paint and set up their church building. Well, as we were leaving after 10 days being together, one of the young people in the van turned to me and she pointed to the 3 lower boards on the side of the church and said, "See those boards? They're painted because I exist." But I thought to myself a little facetiously, well, yeah, but if you hadn't been here, we would have still painted those boards. But thankfully, right that moment, God communicated to me Rodger, listen to what she's saying. What she's saying is she knows in a tangible way that she made a difference in the world, not for her own self, but for the glory of God. I think we get glimpses of those moments when we know we are right aligned with the reason that we exist on the face of the earth. And those are the moments that lead us into further resilience, no matter what kinds of challenges, changes, tragedies occur. We set that pattern. Everything in my research indicates that they will stay in the pattern. There could be moments when they'll be buffeted side to side. It may not be always easy. It certainly won't be easy all the way through. But as long as they know what the pattern is, then they'll return to that pattern, return to that form, and they'll know, oh, this is why I was created.